Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get to this podcast off the ground, I had so many questions. How do I record an episode? Where do I find my background music? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places people like to listen? Where do I find the advertisers? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. So, if you want to start a podcast, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Hey guys, welcome to Monday Thrones, part of April Madness. It's just, it's just where we're gonna do the, just gonna do, of course, the news first before we get to the episode. Well, I apologize. I'm going to redate the episode in a little bit. But before I get to news, I'll do that right now. Okay, first off, we're going to be talking about of course, the behind the scenes first. During last week's episode of Game of Thrones, before this episode I'm going to be talking about, is of course Rob McElhenney. For those who don't know who he is Mac from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. One of my favorite sitcoms. Needs no laugh track whatsoever. Just, Which I would not be doing. Well, I would be doing on Spreaker. I would love to do a review of Always Sunny soon in Spreaker, because that's in fact one of my favorite sitcoms. And you got Martin Starr, who was also in a comedy. Had cameos last week, but both of them were killed off. Arrow through the skulls. And yes, it's no secret that Rob McElhenney are, of course, Game of Thrones fans. That he is a Game of Thrones fan. And that's interestingly enough to talk about. There's another thing to talk about. From cameos to former actors. The one we're going to be talking about, of course, is Jason Momoa. Who is also Aquaman in the DCEU. Everyone's going to ask, what? Wait, what? He was on Game of Thrones? Yeah. But most 90% of us know who Jason Momoa is. and what he's known for is Drogo from Game of Thrones. But we're going to, of course, start off with the bad news, because why is this bad news? They ask, did he die in real life? Well, thankfully, no, he didn't. He didn't die in real life. And did he been injured? Thankfully, no, he didn't. Then what? Then what? You're all asking? The bad news? He shaved off his iconic beard. He just shaved off his beard. Wow. I mean, I had to get mine trimmed because of my job, and I'm okay with that, but him shaving off that iconic beard? That's a no-no. Just like, you know, which I'm gonna get the recap about it soon. Speaking of no-no. But there is a theory surrounding. But there is a theory regarding too, of course, which is of course Drogo. And to warn you, there is a teeny bit spoilers ahead. But although it's a minor spoiler, so consider yourself kind of warned, but you know, other than that, carry on. The source from comicbook.com. Let's be honest, no one liked seeing Jason Momoa's Khal Drogo die at the end of the first season of Game of Thrones. He may have started as a terrible brute in series premiere, but he won over the hearts of both the fans and Daenerys over the course of his 10-episode run, which ultimately ended in his death. Once Drogo was killed, Daenerys entered to his flaming funeral pyre with her eggs and emerged the next morning with 3 baby dragons at her side. This was the last we saw of Khal Drogo, or so we thought. As I see it, the only physical body the warrior perished in season 1. Of course, his soul and spirit never left. He continues to prove it with every episode. And the one who started this theory is Charlie. It's Charlie Ridgely. And he says this. So my theories go like this. When Khal Drogo's body was burned, allowed the dragon to be born, and his soul was actually carried into on one of the trios of the beast. The main dragon in this series is named Drogon. Literally mix up Drogo and dragon. It was also noted that Drogon is far and away the biggest dragon with the darkest scale than the other 2 red tones throughout its body. Yeah. Mimicking the look of Khal Drogo. Yeah. The more you think about it, though. Yeah. The 2 more have much in common than the period. Yeah. You get the point. It's been made clear that Drogon and Daenerys have a special relationship, much different than the one she has with 2 other dragons. Drogon has always acted as her protector, even often getting in the way of danger in order to save his queen or take her away into safety when necessary. Drogo made a similar promise to his bride years ago. For one of the most telling examples of their similarities, to think back at the end of season 5, Dany was trapped in Marine and about to be killed when Drogo swooped into the area to protect her, taking several injuries in order to do so. But he proved he was a worthy warrior, and he took Daenerys away when there was an opportunity. Do you remember where he took her? Dany was in the middle of the fight, and soon enough found herself surrounded by none other than the Dothraki riders, the people of Count Drogo. Things weren't great with Dany at the first exchange, but it all worked out eventually, and she was able to bolster her already stout army with even more Dothraki warriors. The evidence of Drogo's continued existence have been littered throughout the series, but a big another clue during Sunday night's season 8 premiere were the scenes where Daenerys and Jon flew Drogon and Rhaegar out to the middle of nowhere where they could have some time together. They start his scene only to be interrupted by dragons watching them. Okay, those are one creepy dragons. And Daddy's talking about, but Jon was still about to write something like that. His dragon once more at Drogon. They were back at it almost of an angry and really Jon. Well, because I that he was. Wait. Well, that's because he was. Oh. Okay, yeah, my laptop died. Yeah. This wasn't a son looking at his mother and being concerned to attention to the new guy. That was the mighty Cal. Which it is Khaleesi fall in love with another man before his eyes. Jealous of the relationship Jon Snow gets with her. However, there's an added layer to this. That Drogo knew that, and no matter how much this new love bothers him, Daenerys was happy with Jon. Happiness and safety are all he's ever wanted in his queen. And yeah, that was pretty much the source. Yeah, that's it. But they asked how it could be related to Jason Momoa. Khal Drogo, of course. Alright. I got more, way more to talk about. Now everyone's going to ask, what happened to Ed Sheeran? Yeah, we haven't seen him since season 7. Well, but I got this source, another one from Charlie Ridgely. And wow, it's going to be Game of Thrones. But before I get to that, well, the next topic before the recap is what I want to talk about is, of course, it's Ed Sheeran. And another one for Charlie. Say, while most celebrity cameos in Game of Thrones are well hidden, often going unnoticed, the show decided to put its biggest cameo in front of the camera. In a moment that was instantly hated by fans, the series produced gave a role to pop musician Ed Sheeran back in season 7. Putting him in the center scene and giving his character quite a few lines of dialogue. And it meant to be a nice gesture. A present for Ed Sheeran's superfans and Game of Thrones star, Maisie Williams. Wow! Well, how about that? Maisie Williams, Arya Stark is a Game of Thrones. Oh no, wait, she is a Game of Thrones, sorry, I'm most a fan, but she's a super fan of Ed Sheeran's. But sadly landed in the third. However, it looks like the writers found a way to reconcile that moment, giving shit a brutal off-screen fate. And yes, well, this is a warning, but this is like a teensy-weensy spoiler, you know? No big deal, this is just a minor one. There is one scene where Bron gets into bed with 3 prostitutes, 2 of which he can't stop talking about the dragons. One of them references a young red-headed soldier named Eddie, who had been attacked by a dragon, and at the Battle of the Gold Road, "That boy Eddie," the woman said, "came back with his face burnt right off. He's got no eyelids now." Now, of course, this is likely referring to Sharon's character. Not only do the name and the hair color match the description of the actor, but the timeline events are also lined up, proving that Sharon had a run-in with Danish dragons not too long ago. Well, halfway through season 7, Jaime led the Lannister force against Daenerys in the Battle of Gold Road, also known as the Loot Train attack. A lot of Lannister soldiers were lost fighting the fire-breathing dragons. Just a couple of episodes before the big battle, Sharan was marching with a group none other than soldiers. So it's likely they end up in their comrades in Gold Road, somewhere between Casterly Rock and King's Landing. Attacked by a dragon, forced to live your days with no face or eyelids. That's the Game of Thrones fate that has ever been won. And yeah, that's about it. So, oh yeah, that's a tough one for Eddie. That's a tough one for Eddie. And I met Ed Sheeran. And I met Ed Sheeran. It's Sheeran, and not his character. Well, you know. But maybe he's a corpse now. But who knows? I mean, if you're not a Ed Sheeran fan, well, I know I'm not one. I never listened to Ed Sheeran. I listen to rock music. And yes, you know, but that's gotta be hilarious for y'all. Okay, we're gonna get to the last news source before we're gonna go to the main topic, the main event, and the main the recap, which is of course the recap. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna get to the last topic, of course, which is from season 1, but, you know, I didn't pay attention to it. Well, I did, but I don't give a flying fuck what anyone say. Well, you know what? This is about Game of Thrones. I could swear in this. Well, only when it involves a recap, I can swear in this. This is Monday Thrones. Like, before recap, I can swear, but if Monday Thrones is the case, if there's no recap, no show, I'm able to be clean. And this topic is from Adam Barnhart. And its source says Game of Thrones fans can sympathize with Cersei about the elephants. Alright. The highly anticipated Game of Thrones premiere has arrived, and as expected, it's been following Westeros, and they have gathered their forces to fight the White Walkers and invade the North. The story arc seasons past, Cersei Lannister is already up in their mischievous ways. Okay. And what's to say? Spoilers for Game of Thrones ahead. Proceed with caution if you have yet to see the season 8 premiere. So yeah, I mean, what are you waiting for? Just do it right now. Just go watch. Just go watch Winterfell, okay? As Cersei remains in King's Landing, she's working on rebuilding a new army with Erwin Greyjoy, using the Captain General Harry Strickland. The Golden Army arrived in King's Landing. Cersei goes over to Golden Company's assets with Aeron and Strickland. And the Queen soon finds out the Golden Company arrived without elephants. Gee, since when do you have elephants in Game of Thrones? I hope they're not as huge as the ones in Lord of the Rings. What follows is a goofy exchange between the three, explaining why the massive animals weren't available to cross the ocean. Keep scrolling to see what the fans are saying of this goofy tidbit. And we got 7 tweets. And here's what a big mood. Here's what Kadachia said about this. Cersei being upset. Yeah, here's what she has to say. Cersei being upset because she didn't get war elephants is a whole mood. Hashtag Game of Thrones. The next one is from Draco at Vanished SD. Cersei was talking about elephants like they ain't got 2 whole dragons. The third one, trash, from Steamin' Willie B-Man. Of course, at Jordy Lamb. LMAO. Cersei just got beat by Aeron and can only think about the missing elephants. Aeron got trash sacks. Oh, burn! Talk about a battle. From Lady Panama of House Jamma. Lady Pama of House Jamma. Saying, did Cersei think the elephants would be a match for dragons? She seemed really hung up on them. Hashtag GOT. Why though? And there's a video with the chubby baby that looks like Eric Cartman. Hashtag Game of Thrones. Cersei when she was told no elephants. Straight bugging. From the social nebula with the same tweet name. Cersei is bugging how they gonna travel in them boats with elephants Game of Thrones. Hashtag Game of Thrones. At Game of Thrones. Hashtag Winter is here. Hashtag GOT8. 7. Want them now. From Joseph by Candy Ben Wiley. Say this. Cersei was promised goddamn elephants. Hashtag Game of Thrones. Hashtag Damn Thrones. Wow, they all have sympathy for her. Well, you know. But me, I don't give a shit about this cunt and her idea of friggin' fucking elephants. Yeah, like say, it's Monday Thrones, and when there's a recap, I can swear. I can swear in this, you know? I get to swear in this. Just, like I say, even though Cersei wanted elephants, even in strategy, even if she's not smart in strategy, she's still a cunt. Even though, the next one I'll be... Alright, now we are in the main topic, the main event, the full recap. And just again, spoiler warning. If you haven't seen episode, of course, episode 2 of it, The Night of Seven Kingdoms, you might want to get out of here. You might want to avoid getting your... but if you keep on trying to go to spoilers, and if you haven't seen it, you're gonna get your arrow get skewered through the skull, just like Mac and Martin Starr. Alright, guys. Like I say, we're heading into spoiler territory in 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, we've already got the recap. I got the recap ready, but although, wait, say the last time, I'm gonna skip that one because we already went through everything. But although, this episode is called Night of Seven Kingdoms. It didn't say who, but it didn't say who, but we're gonna find that out. Yep. And we see Jaime, and he meets with Daenerys, Sansa, right? Yet Daenerys just told Jaime to tell about his father, about his brother, and then a man who killed their father. And yes, also the man who killed their father, but yet say they promised the army, but Cersei had lied to both Daenerys and Jaime. Bitch. And even though he wants to join, Daenerys would say no, and Sansa also says no. But with Tyrion, let's intervene, and then... And of course, then the Brienne of Tarth came in, speaks for Jaime. It says she would vouch and fight for him. But then Daenerys asked why, and then why, of course, why she would do that? Because Sansa has trusted her for a long time, you know. There was a lady, but then she decided to let Jaime stay. And then Grey Worm gives Jaime Lannister a sword. Fiber blade. Then after he meets her, Jon's the first one to leave. For a while. And then Tyrion has lied to Daenerys about Cersei, you know. But although at the Weberly there's war preparations. And then I didn't know the name, but Gwydion is the blacksmith. But Arya comes back. It demands an upgrade, a weapons upgrade. And then Gwydion is just say it's a scare of White Walkers. But Sansa just throws the daggers, and she told him that death, she knows death. Death has many faces. As we saw in episode 6. As we saw in season 6 of Game of Thrones. Of course, and yep, she of course has, you know, Game of Thrones ahead, like I say. But of course, you know, decides to upgrade her then. But then later, of course, we see Jaime Lannister goes to Bran, who is at the tree, having a conversation. But then he apologizes for pushing Bran out the window. And but Bran, even though was not really apologetic for that, but he was not angry at him for pushing him out the window, breaking his legs. And although that's you know, pretty much an interesting one. Let's get to the one with Tyrion and Jaime having a conversation. Yep, the best way, he said the best way to die is to have someone, he was 80, he would be 80, he would have a line with a girl's mouth around his cock. Wow. Now, even though he is a whoremonger, Jaime goes to the other side, and he sees Bran, and he goes for her. And they were having a talk. But then he just comes and admits her that he's not a fighter. That he's not the same fighter he used to be. But he would have honor to serve her. Then we get to Daenerys and Jorah with the confession. We're having a talk. And, yeah, sorry if you hear the, Charles, it's not an ASMR thing. It's, you know, I had to write down a note so I don't forget what happened. They tell her that he should forgive Tyrion for that. And then she goes around Sansa about Tyrion and about Cersei. And although Sansa did trust her, but although Daenerys also liked her because trustworthy and smart and intelligent and ruthless. You know, you want to be ruthless. And Daenerys has a plan to take back their throne. And after, now from Cersei. No, there's plans after the dead. And after Cersei, that's her plan to take back the throne. Oh, but she's going to find out soon. And then Reek said joined Daenerys and Sansa to fight for Winterfell. But although Winter, wants to fight for Winterfell, yet, and that little girl, Linnea, wants to defend. Yep, and yes, I forgot to mention that Sansa just came in there and embraced Reek in her arms, like just a hug. That's all, because he is, he was part of House Bolton and with fucking Ramsay, which I'm glad he's dead. But now he decided to join her. But her sister couldn't make it. But his sister couldn't make it. Tormund and the wildlings have survived. But although half dead, although the dead got there first time, but they only have time before sunrise. But then later the war planning that there's the Night King that wants Bran. But then Reek wants to, defend Bran at the crypt. And yet Tyrion will be, will have to take the crypt in order to Daenerys, and Davos will be at the walls. But he says, we're all going to die. And I was like, yep. But then it hit the witty line. But at least we'll all die together. Yeah. Yep. And then break. No. No. Now it's in break time, but when I say break, it means it's already over. It is already over for us. Yeah. It was already over for, of course. It was already over for the meeting. Then we have Missandei and Grey Worm have a session, but well, I know it's really important to talk about, but not really important to talk about, but their conversation is really important. But go to Samuel and John, and look who's here, Ghost, who was originally planned for Battle of the Bastards, but too expensive. That's too expensive. And John just told Samuel to stay here, but he wants to join them in the fight. Although we have one of them coming here, he told him that he'll be fucked if he stays. And then Terry and Jamie are sitting down, having their final moments with wine. And then, of course, we have, of course, talking about Even though Jaime Lannister's identity as the Gold Lion may be done, but he says that the option of being a whoremonger is always the option. But then joining them is Sir Davos, Brienne, the new recruit, and Tormund. But then while they're having a conversation with Wine, but Tormund's got his own drink. And from when he slayed a giant, and he just got this, he's got a titty milk from, of course, a giant. Wait, and then he gushes down. It's like, yeah, my reaction of him drinking that giant milk? God damn! Well, even though I do drink milk, yeah. But it's still better than that milk drinking scene from The Last Jedi. And although there's Arya and the Hound having a conversation, Arya arrives, but then another one had joined them. The one who was on her kill list a while ago. But then she left and called them miserable old shits. Wow. And even though she's got a new weapon. And Griddian, the blacksmith, has revealed he is Robert Baratheon's bastard son. And two got closer and they kissed. And this is where she's stripped naked and then, well, not naked, just stripped out of his shirt, and then Arya's the one who is getting naked. Yeah, she's stripping naked. And just told her to take off her pants, say no red. And then, of course, they were having sex. And well, I'm gonna get to my thoughts on those in a little bit. Or those, and yeah, this is a big controversy, Controversial because of Sansa Stark's age and Maisie Williams. And although there are final words before the war, and the final words, of course, are, they're having a final conversation saying, Brienne just said that she hadn't been knighted. And Tormund just asked why she hadn't been knighted. It's a tradition because women can't be knighted. And then he told her, fuck tradition. Saying, if he were a king, he would knight her 10 times. Well, I'm laughing because of him. But, because of what he said. But, Lannister is really serious, saying he don't have to be a king to knight someone, because a knight can knight another person. But then he asked Brienne to take a knee, and yes, I forgot the speech, but yes, it's really important, but I forgot. But he did say, Brienne of Tarth, you are officially the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. And everybody was applauding for her. And yes, we saw in Brienne's eyes, she was tearing up in happiness because she finally got to be the Knight. Thank you, Jaime Lannister. Thank you for making Sir Brienne, the Knight of Seven Kingdoms. You're an absolutely wonderful, and that's why I respected you more than your kind of the sister, But then when Samuel gets to Linnea Ajariah, who is protective of his little sister, no, wait, it's revealed they are actually cousins. Well, yeah, they are actually cousins. But then they have come up with a song. Asked Sir Davos, he declined. Sir Bryn, nope. She can't sing. The name is Daniel. And that song is called Jenny's Song. And I will try my best to sing that one after the episode's over, but we get to the montage of their final goodbyes. But then after that, we see Daenerys and Jon Snow looking at Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. But then say she was his whore. But Jon has confessed that she actually loved her brother. But then he confessed to her that he's actually Aegon Targaryen. Daenerys was really, really shocked to hear that he's actually, that Jon Snow, or Aegon, was actually his nephew. That it's his nephew, and he's the last heir to the throne. Don't worry, Daenerys. Don't worry, Daenerys. You could still take the throne, even if you have to die for it, and even if that's your nephew. And then we cut to the fight, and then so it begins. And that was pretty much it for, of course, Game of Thrones. So yeah, we're gonna get to the one that's been debatable to fans. Alright, so yeah, that has been a recap of Knights of the Dedicated. Before I could end this episode, I just want to add that little controversy that we had to talk about. Okay, so yeah, the little controversy we're going to be talking about is, of course, the Arya sex scene. Not everybody is too happy about that because of Arya's age. Because it's, saying that Arya's, because of her age. And say that they'll go full Chris Hansen on it. And they should say, where's Chris Hansen where you need him? And they're saying, where's Chris Hansen? But then again, I will defend this scene, because for a main reason, Maisie Williams. Well, you see, Maisie Williams was born in April 17th, or the 17th of April, in 1997. Yeah, she was born in the 17th of April in 1997 in London. And she was like 21 when when they were filming that scene. Okay? Well, yes, I know that's a controversial because of Arya's age is unknown. But on the other hand, Maisie Williams was 21 years old when that scene was filmed. But yet, just to cover that controversy, we are going to, yeah, like I say, Maisie Williams is actually 22 now. And she was 21 when that film. And yeah, so therefore, the actress is old enough to have a sex scene. And that's my defense. That's my defense on Arya Stark. because of Macy Williams' actual age. She was 21 when that sex scene was filmed, but yet at 20, right now she's 22, and she's old enough. But although, I do have to admit, that scene was really confusing because we don't know how old Arya is, because I know it's really unnecessary to have her to do a sex scene, but But then again, Macy Williams is actually old enough. With that being said, the controversy has been covered, and of course, it's time to end the episode. Okay, guys, that's gonna do about it for the recap of Night's Spell. So yeah, I had to do a little bit of covering for the controversy, and I do defend this thing because of Macy Williams, but yet I cannot defend Arya Stark because age is unknown, but Macy Williams is actually old enough for that scene. With that being said, next week, on Tuesday next week, it's going to be the final day of April Madness where I cover Avengers Endgame. But I'm right now covering, of course, episode 3, which is, of course, the battle scene. It's going to be extremely long. Yep, the final 4 episodes. The battle begins. Alright, guys, that's going to be about it. I will see you guys next time. Although, I'm going to be hitting the song right now. High in the halls of the king, who are gone, Jenny would dance with a ghost, the ones she had lost, and the ones she had found, and the ones who had loved her the most, the ones who'd been gone for so very long. She couldn't remember the names. They spun her around at the damp old stones, spun away all her sorrows and pain. And she never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave. Never wanted to leave. Never wanted to leave. Never wanted to leave. Never wanted to leave.